Welcome to Throw Off the Lines, the podcast where we navigate life's changes, explore new horizons, and embrace the journey. I'm your host, Stephanie York, an executive coach with a passion for charting new courses on the water and in life. Ready for some total change? Let's dive in. Okay, today is Wednesday, July 17th, and this is Stephanie York with Throw Off the Lines, and I just wanted to launch back into the podcast. I've been really trying to get some people to interview, and I'm kind of stuck in this place where I don't have any podcasts posted because I've been traveling too much, and I just got really injured on a racing boat. And I've been chasing down people because there's so many amazing women out there that have gone through things that I feel you would love to hear from. A niece of mine who is at the top of her game at the age of 29, and she's doing amazing things, and she's traveling and looking at life as a 29-year-old that I'm an engineer in this amazing company that the world respects, and she's doing things that literally dream magic career stages. And she doesn't feel like she has something to say. And what I would really like to do with my podcast is empower women to say, okay, even if I can share one piece of advice, or I can say, when I met this challenge and this thing happened to me, I was able to overcome it because I found strength from my mother or my father, and I was able to push myself out of my comfort zone. I think it's one of the things I'm realizing about myself is I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone my whole life. And I don't know exactly where it came from, but maybe through this podcast, we can discover it together. Where did I get the idea to just pack up my car, leave Cleveland, Ohio, and drive cross country? I know I was uncomfortable from the cold. I was uncomfortable from a lack of opportunities. It had to be better somewhere else. It had to be. I was reading books and watching TV and watching movies and dreaming bigger than my life was. So I went after it. And I think that that's what the podcast is going to have to be about until I can get some of these women to agree to come on here and talk. Because, man, every one of you out there has done something, lived something, overcome something, thrown off the lines. And what I mean is the stereotypes that are attached to us, the family myths, the cultural myths, the things that other people put on us. I'm taking those things off of me. We aren't just a mom or a wife or a sister or a cousin or an aunt. We aren't just a assistant or a CEO or jobless. We aren't just homeless. We aren't just traveling. We aren't just wealthy or socialites, or we are a complicated series of systems inside this bag of bones. And I want to dig a little bit deeper into mine and hopefully share things and ideas that are going to help you. That's what Throw Off the Lines is about. And I'm not married to the name. It just is the one I have. And for me, it feels good because everything is boat related, ocean related, water related. I've needed water in my life, my whole life. So that's why we're here. And one of the first topics that I do want to cover, and I'll probably outline this a little bit more as I go on, but talking about the changes that I have made recently. I just spoke to a dear, dear, wise friend of mine about change. And the fact that I have been going through radical change in the last 18 to 24 months. And it has been a mystery to those around me because more than 90% of it's been internal. But I've been looking outside of myself for resources. And I've got just some amazing stuff being sent to me, via Instagram, Facebook, books, people. When you open yourself up to change, things that can change you come to you. But while I've been doing that, it's been very lonely. And I think the fear of loneliness and the loneliness itself keeps a lot of people from making a change. I ended my marriage and I lost some friends because of that. I lost my home. I lost my lifestyle. I was no longer a couple. And I moved out of my home and moved away from my life. And that was very isolating, but I was so ready to do it. I had so much cognitive dissonance over my life, so much unhappiness, which I'll get into in another one. But having done it now, I call people I know to connect. When I go into my change and the lonely kind of period of time from the time you decide to make the change and that you physically make the change, what happens? What can you do to counter that? What can you do to overcome what could throw you back in the situation you just left? Did you leave a situation that was dangerous? Did you leave a situation that was slowly killing you, or one that you felt suffocated in, stagnant in, whatever the reason for your change? And it could be minor. It could be that you decided to leave a group that you were accustomed to going to, a club, a community, and you wanted to change because maybe they weren't evolving, or in my case, I didn't want to drink anymore. So I've kind of stepped away from situations where people drink. I don't go to parties. I can go and have fun, but it's not my thing. If there isn't a game or something to do and all people are doing is drinking, that's not fun to me. So if you're trying to make a change in your life, I'm going to have an episode on specific changes that I've made and what I did to deal with the loneliness after that change, all the work that I did to help me process it. And on this end of it, 18 to 24 months later, I'm really, really happy with myself and in my decisions. And I'm not lonely. And I don't have as many friends as I had, but I do question whether they were all really good friends, because the people that you leave behind, if they don't reach back out to you and check in with you, how good of friends were they? And I take responsibility for the friendships too. So I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I will be doing an episode on change and how it impacts us. So look on here for a title called Change and Its Impact. And it won't be a small topic, but I will have some things outlined. And I'm really excited. I'm in the Gold Coast of Australia right now. I just raced on a magnificent 50-foot boat out of Southport Yacht Club, but I fell, and it was during a wonderful race, and I fell and hit my side, and I fractured my L1 vertebrae, and I am 2 weeks out and trying to heal from that. So I'm going to be here for another 2 weeks, then I'm back to Los Angeles, and I'm going to probably cover my trip to New Zealand, and I'll cover my trip to Fiji, and then I'll talk about some additional plans that I have for more travels. And I'm really excited to share it with you and how I'm going through the changes that I'm going through. And please feel free to ask questions, offer advice, or jump on a podcast with me. I'd be happy to interview anybody who has your own story about change, since that's the topic today. And I look forward to bringing more podcast topics, as well as just sharing what I'm doing currently. So I will start to format my podcasts a little bit better, and I'll have what I'm reading right now, what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, and let's just have some fun. Let's explore and share new things together. I'll share them if you want to hear about them. Anyways, I hope that you have a great day, and I hope you're able to at least detach one line that's holding you back. Throw off one line. When we're on a boat, we have to take the lines off the boat and untie from the dock and head off into semi-uncertainty. And it's okay. We want to take those risks. And I'm hoping you're willing to take a couple with yourself, even if it's trying a new food or listening to a new type of music or reading a book, or maybe you're doing yoga or meditation for the first time. Let's dig into all that, because you can throw the lines off. Throw them off and start to feel less attached to the old things that maybe were holding you back. All right, this is Stephanie York on Throw Off the Lines, and I'll catch up with you soon. Thank you for joining me on Throw Off the Lines. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe for future episodes and extras, and leave a review, share it with someone who needs a total inspiration. You can also find us on Facebook or Instagram and our Throw Off the Lines website. If you want to be a guest or have questions for the host, sign up on the website and we'll get back to you. Until next time, throw off those lines and live your best life.